Good evening, it's Friday and you're watching The Big Story. With Dylan Ang, I'm Olivia Quay coming to you live from the Straits Times newsroom.
We begin across the causeway. The King has rejected Interim Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad's request for special parliament sitting on Monday. The sitting was meant to decide who has the majority support for premiership. To be picked as Prime Minister, a sitting MP must command the minimum 112 votes. There are 222 MPs in Malaysia's parliament. But Dr. Mahathir revealed yesterday that no candidate has the majority support.
The result is that he cannot find anybody with a distinct majority. And because he doesn't get a distinct majority, he says that the right forum would be the parliament, Dewan Rakyat. So Dewan Rakyat will be called on the 2nd of next month in order to determine who gets the majority support in the Dewan Rakyat to become the next Prime Minister. However, if the Dewan Rakyat fails to find a person with the majority, then we will have to go for a snap election.
The three names in contention to be Prime Minister are said to be Dr. Mahathir, Parti Keadilan Rakyat leader Anwar Ibrahim and Parti Pribumi Bersatu Malaysia President Muhyiddin Yassin. As it stands, Mr. Anwar leads the race, so to speak, having the support of all 92 Pakatan Harapan lawmakers. But if Parliament can't yield a definitive result, Malaysians will then head to the polls.
Joining us now from Kuala Lumpur is Malaysia Bureau Chief Shannon Teoh. Shannon, good to have you back. Why did Dr. Mahathir call for the special sitting only for it to be cancelled by the Agong?
I think if you listen to what Mahathir had to say in the soundbite, he seemed to indicate that this was the Agong's idea to have the sitting. But of course, we know that today the Agong said that he did not give consent to the special sitting. At the same time, the Agong was meeting his other rulers, the other 8 state rulers in the country. And maybe after consultation, there was a different idea about what the process should be. What we do know now is that the Agong has said that he's going to handle it. He wants to be in control of the process and not leave it out into the Dewan Rakyat. Now, many people feel that the Dewan Rakyat might be a more transparent process. You will see how every MP votes. But there are legal and constitutional experts who say that the Dewan Rakyat cannot appoint a Prime Minister. In the end, it still has to go back to the Agong. So it doesn't really matter whether we have this sitting or not. The Agong's got to decide who can best command confidence, because once we go back to Parliament after that, that government still has to pass bills and pass laws.
Right. Shannon, perhaps you could tell us what the power play dynamics is between Dr. Mahathir and the King. From what you just said, it sounds like the King actually, holds more weight than Mahathir.
Well, in the situation that we have now, of course, the King is like the referee in a football match. He has to make the call. So he doesn't want that power taken away from him. Mahathir wants to do it in a parliamentary sitting maybe, or in various different avenues that you can try. But the Agong is saying that this is my power, this is something that I have to do, and I don't want to make the wrong decision and then be blamed for it later on. So he's taking back control of the process. Now, of course, if you go back into Malaysian history, back all the way to the 80s, Mahathir was known then to be kind of an anti-royalist. He didn't like that they had so much power. In fact, under his time as Prime Minister in the first 22 years, he twice clipped their wings, removing certain immunity, certain powers from the royals. So maybe there is still some bad blood between him and the rulers. And that might be playing out right now.
Now, Shannon, let's move to Anwar a little bit here. Now, although it appears that he has the most numbers, can he rally additional support from at least 20 other MPs?
So it's a bit of a double-edged sword, right? He's got the support of 92 Pakatan MPs that's solidly behind him. But there's a what if as well. What if he tries to get people from UMNO or PAS to increase the numbers to 112? He needs about 20 more. Well, people in DAP, one of his existing partners right now, people in Amanah, they probably wouldn't like this. They've been fighting UMNO and PAS and these guys for decades, right? And basically they've banded together because they trust each other. One leader described their relationship as being blood brothers. So you can't just willy-nilly bring people into the coalition and think things are fine. This is a very strongly knit team, and I don't think they would appreciate just having anyone in there. What I understand is that they are trying their best to get East Malaysian MPs into the coalition instead of UMNO and PAS.
Right. Well, Shannon, now that the Parliament sitting has been called off, do you think this weekend will still be one for deal making?
Yeah, I mean, until there is a final decision, the deals will keep going. And that's perhaps what is resulting in some of the instability, some of the nerves from the public investors as well. For as long as there is no firm government, anything can change. Today, it might look like Anwar's in the front seat. Tomorrow, it could be Muhyiddin. The next day, it could be back to Mahathir. And after that, people might say, hey, I think it's going to be a snap poll. So people don't know how to make decisions with their daily lives and also their investment, their money.
Now, Shannon, just to end off, should the situation result in Malaysians needing to vote if a decision can't be reached in Parliament, of course? Now, what's public sentiment like? Are Malaysians ready to go to the polls so soon?
Malaysians are always ready to go to the polls. Anytime there's a chance to be involved in politics, they kind of like it. But I think that in this situation, they don't want the polls to happen. They don't think that this is the right time. It's not really about the coronavirus, but it's more about the state of the economy right now. We've had slowing growth. The fourth quarter, we didn't do well. And we're expecting because of this outbreak that there'll be less business done in the first quarter, less tourism, less retail. So we want a government that can get into the business of making sure the economy is on the right track. Mahathir launched a stimulus package yesterday, but without a government to implement it, it's just a policy. It's not going to be translated into the ground well. So having a snap polls will still mean at least 1 month of campaigns, another month before you can really kind of install a new cabinet, a new government. The situation is going to run away from us. So the cost here is not just about losing the government. The cost is a huge cost to the economy. You're going to lose 2 months of trying to repair the damage of the coronavirus.
Well, thanks so much for your insight, Shannon. Always a pleasure. Of course, we've been speaking to Malaysia Bureau Chief Shannon Teoh on the latest in Malaysia. Keep up to date with developments at straitstimes.com.